Hello, fuckers. Welcome to another episode of Sloss and Humphries on the road, minus Humphries. The good news is it's me. It's me for the next 3 fucking episodes. I'll be here. Kai will not be here at all. He is off. I think he's got Matty's stag do, and then I think he's in Manchester doing shit. So I'm getting people to fill in, and why not start off as strong as possible? I've got Craig Hill filling in for Kai, filling the big hole that Kai has left, and Craig is very good at that. There's a lot of this type of comedy in the podcast. There is also probably the most masculine I have ever been on this podcast, and it's very, very satisfying for me. You'll know exactly what it is. It's a very small moment. It won't make you laugh. You won't enjoy it, but I need you to understand how important it was to me. We talk about comedy. We talk about TikTok. I make wild accusations. We talk about our early careers, and it's very funny. It's very silly, and I hope you enjoy it. Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
So it's not a gift.
It's not a gift. Yeah, it's amusing though. I'm just going to put that down there so I know roughly what I might want to talk about you. You can either have the gift or ask me what gay pizza is.
Oh, well, I mean, we'll have to start off with gay pizza. Can I guess first?
Are we filming already?
Yeah, we are.
Oh my God, we're on it.
It's very loose. We're straight in. So it's right. So is it a new term, gay pizza?
It's not a new term. I made it up today.
Oh, okay. So you've made up gay pizza. Is it a food thing?
No, but it comes in a box that looks remarkably like a pizza box.
Okay, so a flat box, it's gay pizza, it's not food.
Can I give you an aside?
Yes, please.
The guy who delivered it a couple of weeks ago asked me if I'd like Viagra, said he keeps it in his wallet. He's the postman.
Your postie asked you if
I
you
shouldn't
could give
say
me a
that,
stiffy.
but yes, he just said, he did. He just said, I don't know how it came up, which is a good title for one of my shows.
Yeah. And also a great advertising slogan for Viagra.
A postman. I mean, you can have lots of different postmen, can't you? But one of them said, I don't know how it came up, but one of them said to me, he said, if you ever need it, oh, I asked what it was. He asked me the title of my show this year, and I said it's called This Gets Harder Every Year. And he went, well, if it does, you know where to come. I can't believe that actually happened. And I thought it was such a brilliant conversation.
To be fair, that would be a very good Craig Hill title. Craig Hill, you know where to come.
Well, I thought you were going to, what did he say? Yes, I thought you were going to say, it doesn't have to come. I thought, I'm not promoting that.
No.
But yeah, you know where to come.
Yeah, because
that is a good one.
Yeah, if you were to do, especially if you're at the same venue that you played a couple of times, Craig Hill, you know where to come.
Straight after, this gets harder every year. No, I just thought of something really, I don't know how far I can go on your lovely podcast.
As far as you fucking like.
Well, I'm not going to say this is my answer to you know where to come, but in my head, we've got devilish imaginations as comedians, and there's a thing in your head you should say. So I'm going, you know where to come, my puss. Don't say it. Don't say it. I didn't say it.
You did, and it's very, very tame for what this podcast is. You've got to remember,
I'm telling you,
at least once a month,
right,
I am ignorant and racist. Oh no, it's this is a safe space because nobody listens to this.
Anyway, that was my VT, my Viagra tangent.
Right. So your postie, who, and it's an aside, sometimes offers you Viagra. He delivered you the gay pizza box. It's not pizza in it.
It was only when I opened it I suddenly thought, this is like a gay pizza.
I see. I mean the stereotype. For me, I think it's something desserty. But you've said it's not.
No, it's
food.
more to do. I mean, it's hard to do in a podcast. Another good title. But it's more the visual. I didn't expect the box to be pizza-like, so I thought it is like getting a pizza, and I've been waiting for this thing. But who knew it was going to come in a flat domino-looking plain box?
Yes, please.
Shall I just cut to the chase?
Yeah.
It's gay T-shirts from Spain that I spotted a guy wearing when I was on holiday in Torremolinos and said, where did you get that? Those two little men next to each other with their little, what do you call the little things that they wear in front of themselves? The little not quite a shamrock, but
Oh, the
Adam
Adam and
Eve
Eve leaves. Yeah.
So two little men in a very funny little T-shirt, and I said, "Who did you get?" And this guy said, "Oh, from a Spanish company, blah, blah, blah." So I ordered them from Spain. I loved them so much, I chose 4 more, and the 4 more arrived this morning, and they were in a pizza box as far as I'm concerned, because I thought, oh, this is like gay pizza. I've been waiting for these T-shirts for ages, and I think... straight people would get more excited by pizza, and I would get more excited by gay T-shirts in the post. So it felt like gay pizza. So I opened them and I was like, "Oh my God, look at my gay pizza!" And so.
See, originally
I nearly said gaping pizza. I tried not to say that in my head. I thought, it just crossed my head as I said.
Yeah, a gaping pizza
That's a
is just
different
one.
thing.
They've not cut it up into 8 pieces. They've just cut a massive hole out of the middle.
Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, if the word gaping is involved, I think it's no longer a pizza. Unless it's a piece of the action. I couldn't help it. I had to say it.
No, my brain, when you said gay pizza, because like I think the terms that the gays have for things are always my favourite. Like the difference between solid gold gay and platinum gay.
Interesting. I don't even think I know this, but I can guess. I'll try and guess which category I'm in. Does that mean, like super gay?
No, it's not. It's not to do with like the degree of your campness or your gayness or whatever it is. Well, I guess
is it a half pint of gayness or a whole pint of gayness?
A gayness shandy.
I've said that in an Irish bar before in Dublin.
Aye. Can I get a couple of pints of Guinness, please? You look like you're full, son.
That's exactly what happened. I said to the guy, "Can I have a pint of Guinness?" And the guy went, "If it's Guinness you're after," I'll say it in a Northern Irish because I can't do the Southern one. So he said, "If it's Guinness you're after, I think you've had enough." Yeah. I want to marry him. So yeah.
I'm surprised that you can't do an Irish accent. You've always been someone who's
I can
excellent.
do a wee Northern Irish accent. I can't do the Southern Irish. I've not been around it. Is Andrew Maxwell's got that accent, hasn't he? He's brilliant. And he's the one I would use because he's got a really strong accent. But I haven't tried enough to do it. And I think my mum was Northern Irish, so I think I automatically go to the more Northern. I just hear that in my head. So I need to practice.
My French teacher in high school was...
We all remember her. We all, weirdly, even as a gay man, I remember my French teacher. Why French teacher's hot? If you're out there and you're a French teacher, congrats.
Oh, ours wasn't. She was Northern Irish, and I just remember like so much. I'd be like, right, sit down now. We're gonna do some French. Ça va aujourd'hui?
Oh, that
Ça
is
va
so
bien,
funny.
merci. Comment t'appelles-tu?
With the Irish accent.
Oh, all the way through. And we went to France with her. Like, we went to Paris on a like French exchange trip, and that is how she would talk.
Well, I
French.
went to
Bonjour,
Paris.
je voudrais un pain au
And you're like,
chocolat.
I'm not going to pass, miss, if I say it with that wee Irish accent. I was over in Paris in January because I used to work with a girl when I was a hairdresser, and I still know her, and she lives in Paris. She's lived there for 25 years, and I met her Scottish/French children. She's got 3 children, and the whole time when they were speaking French, I mean, I'll try and think of a French sentence. I don't know, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? They're so beautiful, lovely French. And then when I walked in, they went, "Oh, you must be Craig," because she's from Glasgow. And I was like, "Child, how can you go from that to that? It's so weird because French sounds so elegant and eloquent, and suddenly it was like a wee Glasgow. Why don't I? What a
Fucking
thing!
great.
I thought,
But
speak
think-
French.
But what a good thing for them to have, because look, I don't mean to. The French accent is not a threatening accent. You've said it's very much a language
What was
of love.
interesting
It's
was
musical.
there was a
rhythmic.
slight musicality about his Scott. I mean, it wasn't quite as wide as I said, but there still was a little bit of the French musicality about
I'm
it.
going down the brae to see my prayer.
I'm pure off my head, so I am.
I am absolutely content.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of shoulder action with a little Scottish French accent.
God, and that would be the 2 worst kisses I think you could combine would be the French kiss and the Glasgow kiss.
Oh my God! My God!
Somebody sticking the nut in with their
I was going to say a
tongue
Glasgow kiss is what you do when you discover someone else having a French kiss with your partner.
Yes, yes.
That's the order that happens in.
So the difference between a gold gay and a platinum gay.
I love that you know this and I don't.
So
So what is the difference? Yeah.
A gold gay is somebody, a gay that has never had sex with a woman at all.
Oh, I have heard this expression.
Never been inside of a woman.
Inside? What a funny expression.
Yeah. And a platinum gay is a gay who's never had sex with a woman but was also born cesarean. So at no point have they touched a fanny.
Interesting. I have.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, does that make me gold?
I think you're gold. You're a gold gay.
Oh my God! I mean, I would high five you, but it seems so machismo.
No. But if you've touched a fan at any point, then I think you'd only be a silver gay. Like if you'd sexually touched a vagina in your exploration in your youth, I assume. Then I think you'd be.
I just felt under pressure to get them off the scent.
Yeah. I'll bet. East Coast,
That gets them off the scent. Do you know my favourite thing was when I kind of came out and told people I was gay? They said, they actually said, "What? But you've always gone on about that Madonna." And I was like, oh yeah, because that's proof. That made me laugh so much. People really thought, and my best friend, this girl, she was very attractive, and I think that got people off the scent. Because gays love pretty ladies.
Yeah.
Do you know, pretty things. So yeah, my best friend was really good looking, and people thought she was my bird. I was quite chuffed that they thought she was my girlfriend because she was so beautiful. I'm still friends with her now.
Good. She's not the one that you brought to Glastonbury with, is it? It's not.
No.
Okay.
That was my cousin.
That is your cousin. Well, geese go bright. Who knows?
Yeah. Could be the same person. Yeah. So, Daniel, it's a special day. Mm-hmm. Do you know why it's a special day?
I do not.
Not just because it's the day after Father's Day. Congratulations.
Oh yes. My second Father's Day. It's still like this time he actually kind of signed the card himself, and by that I mean he was able to hold the pen and he can do it on the inside. Cool. And that was nice. That was progress. He's got his teeth. And today it wasn't a full sentence, but it was like my equivalent of like him putting two words together. He pointed at the bubbles. He loves his bubble machine. And he went, Dada Bubbles.
Dada Bubbles.
And I was like, that's amazing. And then yesterday...
I used to go out with somebody called Dada Bubbles. He was 86, but he was generous.
Dada Bubbles does sound like a drag king. It does.
I already know that whoever Dada Bubbles is, he's really lovely.
Yeah.
He's sweet and he looks after you.
And a firm lay. A firm
lay. Wow, I hadn't even gone there. I thought me and Dada Bubbles were past that stage.
No.
I thought it was all Dada Cuddles with Dada Bubbles. I think that's the stage we would have got to.
It's maybe just because whenever daddy is still very much, because he only calls me Dada. The word daddy's not been like, it's sexualized for a bunch of people, and then all my friends who liked being called daddies have told me becoming a father ruined that for them.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so they've now become Dada.
Yeah.
How very arty.
Yeah.
How very Dadaist.
Very fucking.
But you have a present, Dada.
I do, yeah. Whoa. So the good thing, my favorite bit about Father's Day yesterday was I've got a new Nintendo Switch game. I'm playing Zelda, and
which begs the question: which one's the child?
Yeah. Yes. It's almost as if he knew I just wanted an hour to play
myself.
This. No, because he came in and he tucked himself in my arm.
Oh, that's sweet.
And for an hour, he just sat on me while I played. Like, occasionally he tried to help and then realised he wasn't helping, but he was just happy to... Yeah. He wanted to press the buttons, do the fucking things. And I said to Cara, I'm like, this is a very satisfying Father's Day.
That sounded like a good present, I have to say. Not as good as the one I've got you.
Oh, yes.
Now, I don't know if we can call this a present. You will laugh at it. It's ridiculous. It's not a present, but I have brought a thing.
And it's for me to keep.
No.
Oh, no. Right. That part's not a present.
Actually not.
Right, okay.
So, it is... brown sauce. Now, you think this is a present. It's not a present and it's not a macho competition. It's just practical. I had a couple of sausages on a bat for lunchtime and I couldn't open this and I thought, I wonder if Daniel could. It's as simple as that. I only want it opened. I'm taking it back and popping it on bread and sausages. But I can't open this. And I got rubber gloves and I tried to open it. And I was like, oh my God.
I can't believe you're asking me to do this on camera, man.
Well,
especially when Kai's not here. He's going to...
I mean, let's see who's the dada.
Yeah. Here comes Dada Bubbles.
I mean, how can that be so difficult
It's
to
also
open?
been opened before.
Yes.
Like, this isn't this is a half-filled...
It's probably sealed shut with
Oh, you're fucking...
with condensed brown sauce. It's not opening, is it?
Oh,
See,
God
yeah,
damn it. God.
I knew you'd probably quite like the challenge.
I fucking... Oh, no, this is the rest of the
God.
podcast now. Right, well, come on.
you.
Right, come on.
I've always said brown sauce gives great podcast. No. Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hardest cunt alive.
Who's the dada? You the dada. Isn't it nice?
Wow. It smells lovely. So I'm not normally a massive fan of brown sauce, but I have to say, I admire-ish you going off brand, because I'm the opposite. If I go into someone's house and they have beans or ketchup that is not Heinz and you don't live in poverty.
Yes.
If you are middle class, upper working class, and you buy anything other than brand like Heinz ketchup, I think it's a fucking travesty. I think it's a real...
Because you should know better.
Well, I just think there's some brands out there that are just the best at it.
Yeah.
And like Dyson Hoovers are just the best Hoovers.
Well, I don't know if you were to ask the gays.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying they're the all-seeing eye on hoovering, but my God, they are the all-seeing eye on hoovering.
If anyone's
I
a
disagree.
professional at knowing what sucks well, it's going to be the gays.
I mean, I opened that up for you. Another good title. But yeah, it was no. I would disagree. I would say mealy.
Really?
Miele. Mealy.
Oh, and I think we had one at one point, because our cleaner we used to have,
That's just my opinion.
She said shark was actually a very good one, the shark ones.
Oh, I know nothing of them, but no, the mealy has served me well for years. I did recently. Well, I thought I had to replace it, and then I realised the handyman who came round to my house sucked up my. What magic eraser? I did have, you know those magic erasers?
No.
Well, it's a white sponge that if you want to get stains off walls and wood and off your trainers, the white bit of your trainers back to fresh.
Oh, I don't
There's
know
a
what
magic
trainers.
eraser you put in water, and I don't know what's in it, but it actually takes everything back to white. And that's what it was. This is really ridiculous. My friend is handy. He is a handy man. He wasn't a handy man. He was just a friend who I found out was a handy man. And then I told him I had a problem with my pistons. So I have a storage bed that I got from Habitat. And when something went wrong with it, and they said, there's nothing we could do. You can contact the company in Italy. And so anyway, but the idea of a storage bed is, you hide, you put things under, you hide. I've always thought if somebody broke into my house, I'd have somewhere to hide and they'd never find me, because you'd never know there was somebody underneath the bed until now I've said it. Anyway,
Yeah. So guys, if you fancy robbing and murdering Craig Hill, please don't. Don't.
He's under the bed.
Yeah. Him,
If you can't find him. But yeah, so, and this thing, you lifted it and it went shh, and you had put all your shoes and everything in, and then it went tits up. And my friend came around to fix my pistons. He said, I can put new pistons in your bed. Not a metaphor. And he did. And now it's fantastic. You do that and it's really light and it's fantastic. But anyway, he came round to the house and he hoovered that, because I couldn't get the hoover to it, because you need someone to hold it while you're hoovering. But anyway, so he held it, I hoovered it, blah, blah, blah. Then I handed him the hoover for the last bit and he sucked up my magic eraser, and I thought my mealy was done, and it wasn't done. It just was choking on a magic eraser sponge.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to buy a new hoover. So the point is, they lasted longer than I thought, but they did survive a choking on a magic eraser.
The problem is, like, I've had to do it occasionally with our Dyson, which is you go, fuck, this thing isn't working anymore. Here's the other thing I will say about the wall charger Dyson, and I'll do it when we're in the house. Remind me to show you it. It has one of the most satisfying, like, on and off noises. Like, it's very Star Wars.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Oh, it's like the reason you do it. It's I feel like, even though I'm hoovering my very boring kitchen floor, I feel like I'm in Star Wars, because
This is so funny you brought this up, there are two things that's connected with I wanted to talk to you about.
Let's go.
One of them is at your wedding, which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
One of your friends showed up with a lightsaber brolly. And I drunkenly chatted to him, and I woke up in the morning to find that I too had ordered one. So I call it Amazonesia. I just fall asleep. I'm drunk. I order things. I wake up 2 days later. The guy comes, and I have no idea what it is. And
past Craig buying future Craig gifts.
yeah, exactly. So this is the reason why during lockdown I woke up to a telescope.
Okay.
I was walking through the street going, an iPhone really can't capture the moon, can it? And I was thinking, imagine you had a telescope. And then I found a telescope. And now that someone else has got that, because why did I do that? But anyway, no, the lightsaber, your friend had one, the guy who looked he looked fantastic. Really handsome, lovely curly hair, and he was dressed very dapper, and he was really quite proud.
Which was Sarah?
Oh, Rich Masada, yes,
fantastic.
it was.
And you press the umbrella, and it's like a lightsaber. It changes colours.
That is a very Rich Masada thing to have as well.
And I ordered it. Honestly, I cannot wait to the first festival / gay rainy wedding that I go to. So I've got a jazzy brolly.
So it lights up?
It lights up. It's fantastic. And it's got a wee light on the bottom for pensioners what can't see where they're going. It's actually perfect. Anyway, so that was the first Star Wars kind of, or whatever, is it Star Wars? Star Trek?
Wars.
Which one? Star Wars, yeah.
Star Wars.
It's Star Wars, stars to me. Trek or Wars. Anyway, so that was the first thing. But the other thing was, I thought I'm going to mention something weird to Daniel that I don't know if the subject will ever come up, and you brought it up yourself. Yeah. Have you noticed that objects in the house sing to you or make noises where you recognise the melody? I have. So, my microwave plays Britney Spears' Stronger. It's not even a joke. I actually recorded it to bring to here today to let you hear it. I'm really hoping...
Hold on, before you do this, can you just play me Stronger on this, just so I've got it...
good
just
point.
so I've got the reference point in my head.
We'll have to cut this out though.
Because is it copyrighted?
Oh,
Because
right,
the
okay.
only song I know was Stronger in it is what does it kill you makes you stronger. Da-da-da. But I feel
No,
that.
it's not that one. So,
Hold on, let's hear the OG.
right. This is what I can't believe I recorded my microwave. Am I a normal person?
No,
I must
but
record
none
that
of us are.
microwave before I go to do Daniel's podcast. Here, I hope you can hear this. Let me just turn the volume up. There. Yep. It's not a joke that I do that every single time I microwave anything. Let's just hear it again. This is me in my normal house. This is how I live my life. I do that every single time. And I've noticed that lifts play Barbra Streisand's Feelings.
Please continue.
Every lift goes boo boo, and I go boo 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 boo, boo 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 boo, and that was in Birmingham. And then I went to Glasgow, and I opened it, and I pressed number 4, and the lift came up, and they went boo boo. And I went, oh my God! Oh, let's play Feelings. That's probably the gayest reference.
Oh,
I've ever.
it's also a very that. I think that just shows how pure of heart you are. That whenever you hear beeping, you hear something musical. Whenever I hear beeping, I scream at whatever is beeping. Beeping's torture.
Oh,
to
really?
me. Yeah.
I've learned to deal with torture, but what I mean by that.
Fuck yeah.
No, really. I digress. No, what I really mean by that is things that torture you or annoy you or stress you. I have this little kind of method where, like, for example, if you took milk out the fridge and it was in a glass bottle and it's smashed, I've got this little thing and I go, I'm really glad that happened. And I convince myself that it's not that big a deal, and it really stops me getting stressed about everything. Or I've got this other really, really weird thing. This is very strange to tell anyone this. Mm-hmm. So the other day I was with a friend and something fell off a shelf and I went, David! And my friend went, who's David and why did you say that in an English accent? And I said, oh, because I was on holiday once in Palma and I met this woman and her husband never spoke the whole time. But my God, he was demanded to do everything she requested. And she just went, David, can you sort that out? Back to the conversation. And she just kept on doing this. David, look after the children. David, lunch. And the way she spoke to him was terrible. And then I suddenly thought, whenever something goes wrong, it just became a running joke between me and my friends. I'd just go, David! And I feel like there's this magical person who sorts everything out. And it makes me feel like the whole thing isn't as stressful because it's like you make yourself laugh.
Yeah, I do that. Whenever I do something, I will, even if it's me alone in a room or if it's me with Kaylin, I will blame it on whatever it is on Cara, and that's because I am so much nicer to Cara than I am to myself, right? Cara will notice this. If I do one small thing and I fuck up myself, I will beat myself up for 3 hours, call myself a fucking idiot, call myself a piece of shit. Whereas Cara today phoned me up. She's driving my Tesla, a supercar, and she didn't crash it, but she knocked the fucking wing mirror off it. And she phoned me up. She's like, I'm really, really sorry. I've taken the wing mirror off the car. And I'm like, baby, as long as you're okay, and as long as the other person is okay.
As long as you did it and I didn't do it.
Yeah, then I can forgive you.
You're more likely to get angry at yourself.
Yes, I can forgive. Forgiveness in other people, and this is very weird for me to say since I hold grudges like nobody else. I find it so much easier to forgive people that I love than I do to forgive myself for anything.
That's interesting. But all you're doing is what I'm talking about is taking little potential stresses in life and nipping them in the bud immediately with any ridiculous technique. So if I shout on somebody called David who doesn't exist, it makes me laugh. So that's why I do it, because anything that makes you laugh stops you getting stressed.
With just go back to like the sound thing, whenever you hear a noise and it takes you to a song or whatever, my brain doesn't do that. A lot of mine takes me back to like moments of my childhood. If I ever hear like the bing bong announcement at like an airport, sometimes it's like a doorbell. Sometimes, in corner shops, they've got the bing bong, door opens, and it's just to let them know that somebody's in. I find it impossible to hear bing bong and not go, attention please, would all weak and non-swimmers, please make the way to the shallow end of the pool.
Oh, because did that happen at school or something?
Leavenmouth swimming pool is there. Bing bong, attention please.
Funny though, isn't it? Like I was just thinking. So we'll talk about this in a second. So I've just joined TikTok.
Oh yes,
because I'm only 23, and eventually you should. It does feel like it's a young person's thing.
No, because Kylie's on TikTok and she's blowing up amongst the younger generation.
She is with that. She is actually, because of that song Padam, which is so infectious. I've never listened to a song so much and not got bored. How do you do that? How do you write a song that doesn't bore you?
Because I think, and I've listened to the song a couple of times. It's one of those ones where the chorus is. Padam's not a word. That's just her. She's doing onomatopoeia for the heart.
Yes, and it's nice.
Yeah, and it's just there's something repetitive about it and catchy and whenever you hear a new word, you want to say it over and over again to get it in. And because
it sounds like a nice word, doesn't it? Padam, padam, I hear it and I know. So I joined TikTok, and then I was my friends were like, "Oh my God, you're going to turn into one of these people who doesn't concentrate in the conversation anymore because you're looking for content." Yeah. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll be aware of that. I won't turn into that guy. But if there's any potential, I will use it."
But also, I feel like TikTok would be a very good place for you creatively. You're a wonderful singer. You're a very good dancer. You find joy in everyday life walking around. Me and my mother have always said the greatest fringe show that there ever could be would just be you on the top deck of a bus that's driving around Edinburgh.
I think I've done
with
that.
A microphone.
I did do that once.
Oh, did you?
I did do that once for somebody asked. I've not got any footage of it, but somebody did once ask me to go on a tour bus and go around Edinburgh with a microphone, and I loved it. It was a joy.
Travelling anywhere, because you and me have travelled the world together with our Joe. I love walking through public places with you, because normally when me and Kai go through airports, I've got my headphones on, I'm a miserable fucking piece of shit. You don't allow that to happen. No. You're like, there's things to see, there's games we can play.
There's joy to be had.
I don't know if you remember this, when we went to Singapore together, I must have been 18, 19 years old. we just got off the 13-hour flight and we're taking the very long journey to go find our fucking luggage somewhere. And you were like, I've got a game. We'll each say a random letter of the alphabet, and you just have to, while dancing, make the shape of that letter.
I don't even remember that game, but I'm so pleased I came up with it.
As somebody who's deeply insecure
That's
about
so
dancing
funny.
and singing or whatever, you would just be like, S, and I'd go, fuck, all right. And you'd be like, yes, good, wonderful. And I go, T, and you'd...
Oh, that's good. Well, that might be inspired by something I did at drama college, where me and a Spanish guy went to entertain an old folks home by dressing up in business suits and being two gay men, one chained to the ironing board and one arriving home at night, and then playing Nat King Cole's L is for the way you look at me. And guess what we did? O. V is very, very extraordinary. E was hard. Yeah. But that might have been inspired by that, because we did that a long time ago. So that must have... I was trying to think, where on earth did I come up with this idea of
good fun game.
Make the shape? Well, it's just making fun out of nonsense.
Yeah. And
like yesterday.
It's surrendering yourself to silliness in places where you feel like you shouldn't be silly.
That's a really good description of it, surrendering yourself to silliness. I passed an Indian restaurant yesterday on Leith Walk, and it was spelled Kahani, and I immediately went, have another naan bread, I can't, and I started laughing my head off, and I thought, content! Anyway, so the TikTok thing was, what was interesting was, I suddenly was thinking, I wonder if I've got stuff that, because sometimes I've recorded things just to send to a pal for a laugh, and then I suddenly realised, I've been TikToking for years without realising I'd been sending stupid clips to friends. So some of them I was just looking through old videos, and I found this really, which combines everything we're talking about, really silly little video of me, Kai, and Gordon Southern in a car, and the car played the theme tune to Rocky. Because if you didn't put your seatbelt on, it went beep beep, and we all went beep. And I have video footage of all three of us going. So I'm gonna TikTok the muck out of that.
I might have a TikTok for you. This song,
you do? You're also on one of mine. I'll tell you about that in a second. I discovered it last night.
In the car, I said this to Cara the other day, there's a song out and I just cannot hear. There's a parody song in there, and it's Pink's new one. It's a Trust Fall Baby. Have you heard her sing that one?
No, I don't think I know it.
Bring up Pink Trust Fall.
Trust Fall. That's a nice. That's a nice.
Yes.
That's a nice positive kind of.
Okay.
Oh, isn't it funny? We're like, oh my God, it's brilliant. It's the best thing. It's the best thing she's ever released. Panty liners.
So that song there, it goes, it's a Trust Fall Baby. I'll make you listen to it again. There's a parody version of that, which you could sing it to a posh audience member, which is, he's a trust fund baby.
Oh,
Play it, no, just go back
God.
10 seconds. And...
Oh, that's...
He's a trust fund baby.
Look at you, you're a trust fund baby. That's actually perfect. That is, I
wanted to text you.
And you know who they are.
Of course, you would see them instantly.
They are OBVS of...
Yes.
Really, really obvious. But yeah, so, no, you just reminded me, years ago I found again footage of what was quite funny, because I was interviewing Pink at Tea in the Park. Remember I used to host every time I interviewed somebody at Tea in the Park, I never wanted to talk about music particularly, because there was loads of musos could do that. Mm-hmm. I wanted something silly. So I had a really good laugh with her, and she, in the middle of it, said to me, oh my God, she said, I can actually speak Scottish. And I went, oh my God, I'd love to hear that. And I'm not joking. She said, okay, here we go. The top of the morning to you. Oh. I said, oh, Pink, I haven't got the heart to tell you that's Irish. She went, oh my God. She's like, did I make an ass myself? Yeah, but we got it on camera.
I know, you made an arse of yourself, love.
No, do you know what? Do you know, if you're American, the Irish and the English, Scottish accent do sound quite similar. People think I'm Irish when I'm in America.
I'm fine with being confused as Irish.
So am I.
The
what
English
a lovely
are
nation. I'd quite like to... Some people say they really think I've got an Irishness in my voice, but I don't think I have at all.
No, I know you are like Glasgow.
100% gay. Well, somebody did ask me that when I was young. Someone, like, I was like 14. This guy went, "What is your accent? It's like a gay accent."
You're like, where would a gay accent be from?
I said,
Greece.
Where would I learn that?
So
but
what was the TikTok of you and me that you found?
Oh, yeah. This was really interesting. So, yeah, it was, well, I didn't find it. It's just potential TikTok. It was basically, do you remember when we were on Good News Week? And I think they must have asked you to sing and you didn't want to. So you introduced me and they say the beautiful voice of Daniel Sloss and you say mimed by Craig Hill. And I sing the song for you. So I sing George Michael's...
I have no recollection.
Yeah, and your hair's really long in the video and you look really...
So Good News Week, for those that don't know, it was a television show in Australia back in 2010.
It's like a Have I Got News For You, isn't it, over there?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I think a little bit less newsy, a bit more like Nevermind Buzzcock sort of thing.
Yeah.
The only bit I remember fully of it was one of my first bits of television, and it was in Australia, and I was very excited. The two bits that really stand out to me was, I remember this bit when I was in like one of those, the crystal maze chambers where they blow up the gold and silver foil things and you got to catch. Remember that? And I also remember while getting makeup done backstage by the makeup artist, them not having my shade of white because I was
that's the most shameful Scottish thing I've ever heard in my life.
I was so big, and she had no idea what to do because she's like, I can only make it darker, and you're lighter than the lightest thing I have, and I'm like, you're gonna have to find Tipex, love.
Oh my God, we've only got Kirkcaldy. You'll have to go proper tan.
Aye.
Listen, this is amazing because I mean. Bizarrely, I'm just going to play this to you.
Yeah, do you have footage of this? I'd love to see.
I was listening to it last night and I was thinking I must let Daniel hear this. So I think this is the bit here. Right, okay.
Here we go. So we got it.
Will I just play it?
Yes.
Right, here it is, Daniel. Do you want to see it? Or will I just play it?
No, we don't have to show the camera, we can just see it.
Right, but but we should hear it through the microphone, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
And now the beautiful voice of Daniel Sloss.
Mimed by Craig Hill.
That in the thing, we always had a song, and the song was connected to a story. So somebody come on and sang the song.
Okay, so somebody's singing the song.
It was great fun. I loved it. You can't see what I'm doing, but we'll pop it on the TikTok.
Hopefully the video will be up. If not, if you just type in Good News Week Careless Whisper, yeah, you should be able to find it. At the start of the video, you can see the fear and anxiety in my fucking eyes.
In a young comedian's long-haired face.
I've spoken about this many times on this podcast. I hate singing. I don't hate other people singing.
So they must have asked you to sing, and then you said, "Nah,
not a chance."
Because they did. What the round was, it was like there was something in the news this week, and that's what you had to guess.
Yeah.
And they often had a song as a clue. And I did it once as on the panel, and then they said, "Would you mind just coming back to be the singy guy?" Yeah. So they said, Daniel probably won't sing. So could you come in and sing his clue? So that's how it ended up happening.
Superb. And thank you very much for doing that, because I would have taken not been on the show before I would ever publicly sing.
Yes. And so what this brings up is, as I was saying, so the weird thing about TikTok is you're suddenly finding stuff that you've done before. You think, yes, I should put it on there, probably. It's like creating your own obituary. It honestly feels a bit like that. I feel like this is a bit like Touchwood, but if anything happened to you, everyone would find all this and they put it in one place, and you think, well, you should do it while you're alive.
No, I absolutely agree. You should be creating your own art gallery of your life, because I think the thing that before we had this level of social media where we had this direct relationship between artist and audience.
Oh yeah,
It was always kept behind the TV.
You had no
Netflix.
way to do that. You wouldn't have access to it.
You wouldn't have access to it. You wouldn't have rights to it. And if people want to see you on something, even if you were their favourite artist, they would have to watch the shows you were on or find the fucking videos of the VHSs or whatever. Whereas now, because we have these social media things, which I know there's shit about them, but it's such a direct relationship between you and your crowd. it gets rid of all these TV producers, it gets rid of all these fucking execs and all this thing. And I think a really good way of looking at it is being like, fuck it, I'm going to put it all here so that if somebody discovers me from one thing, they can come and find me on social media and watch all of my things.
They're fun things that you've done. It's really nice to put them all in one place.
But you've done fucking heaps. I mean, how long have you been doing comedy for now?
25 years this year.
Wow.
1998.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Before I get into what you've done, do you remember your first gig?
Yes, I do, very clearly.
Where?
It was in the Gilded Balloon, and it wasn't during the Fringe. It was on a February or something, and it wasn't even a comedy night or a comedy club. It was like a space they were trying for students. I wasn't a student, but it seemed to be a student kind of venue, and it was just like, give it a go. And my friend, who used to be the press officer at the Gilded Balloon, phoned them and booked the gig without telling me, and I'd never shown any interest in being a comedian. She just said, I think you are. So she knew if she'd asked me, I wouldn't do it. So she booked it and I had to do it. So she told me about 4 days before. And I said, what do I do?
What were those 5 days like? Were you losing your mind? Were you worrying? Because I know now, even now, like you now before a gig, you take.
I prepare quite a lot.
Yeah, you do. Because first of all, it's not like me going on and just being like, I fucking hate the world. You're going on, you're singing, you're dancing, you're so good at riffing with the audience. You make sure that every person in that room, it's high energy, and you've got to be on your. I'm remembering what I said yesterday. That's all. That's all my talent is.
So the reason I do that is I think it's because I went to drama college, and drama college really drummed in preparation and rehearsal. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be really sharp and really quick, and you want your brain to think of things, you've got to be. I don't know why I say 27 steps ahead of the audience. You've got to be like they're just having a wee glass of wine, turn up, going looking forward to this, and they think you've just walked on and gone hi, and you're like, oh my god. I've done 4 hours of hyper, or 2 hours of hyper. I'm already pretty hyper before I start. And so for that first gig, the actor in me thought it was a bit unprofessional if I didn't do it. So I phoned the Gilded Balloon and said, hi, my friend's booked a gig for me and I'm not a comedian. Would it be terrible if I cancelled? And Karen Corrin said, because I kind of knew her, I used to work in box office at the Gilded Balloon. Right. And Karen said, well...
Yes.
She said, you can cancel up to 30 seconds before you go on stage, so you might as well do it. So she's a kind soul. I've just done an exaggerated version of it. Yeah. But anyway, oh my goodness, he's going to have to cut that out. Anyway, so, wow. That was the get out. So I thought, oh, you could cancel 30 seconds before you go on stage. I thought, why would you not do that? Yeah. So that gave me a lot of guts because I thought, well, okay. And then I said to my friend, what do you think I should do? I don't know, it's up to you. So I just thought, what makes my friends laugh? And I thought, they laugh when I do Julie Andrews sings punk songs, and they laugh when I do Shirley Bassey sings the Smiths. So that's all I did. I did 4 minutes of Julie Andrews singing punk songs.
Please give us some examples.
People always say that to me, and then years later they go, well, it's pretty shite now.
Yeah. I was also realising, Julie Andrews...
It was the fact that Julie sang in a very English accent. So I knew if you made her sing, I am an anarchist. So I made her sing, the Sex Pistols.
Okay, yeah.
And I just picked up on the fact that it didn't really sound like her, but it was what she did, which was this lovely clipped English accent. And then you realise not many people sang like that.
Yes,
like we were thinking the other day, what accent is Sophie Ellis-Bextor singing in? Because we were going, it sounds almost Cockney, but it's also quite posh. And she's going, go, I'll get her. Drive me crazy up the wall, Mr. Know-It-All. And I was like, it is posh, but it also sounds quite Cockney. It's like, I love it. I think it's brilliant. But it's a really unusual accent to sing in.
There's a bit of Dick Van Dyke was my granddad to it.
It's better than that. But anyway, so that was when I started doing comedy.
So because in the 25 years since then, so I growing up, like when I was young, I remember from Hogmanay in Scotland most years, years, you were doing like the interviews and the Hogmanay evenings. Was it in Glasgow? Was it in Edinburgh?
Yeah, it was like, every year I did it in Glasgow in the studio, and then the one year they said, do you want to do it live from Edinburgh? I said, yeah, I'd love to do that. So it was like outside the castle, and it got cancelled.
Oh, fuck
It was the year it got cancelled, and I was on TV with a wee fizzing out sparkler. Oh. So it was a shame, because in the studio it was quite good fun, but it was a buzz outside. It was too windy, and that's why it got cancelled. But yeah, so I think you're going to bring up live floor show. Yeah,
so like it's, I think it's been so, and you don't have to agree with this, but this is my opinion. It's been so long since BBC Scotland did anything good. Right.
Well, they certainly haven't done that thing that they did with us, which was a stand-up comedy programme. And it was really unusual because I think it was based on Friday Night Live. And what was unique about that was, rather than being in a theatre and coming on doing stand-up, it was a studio where each act had their own stage. And that's what was exciting about it.
And here's something that's amazing about the live floor show is you have to remember this was...
I have to tell people, live floor show was a programme on TV that five of us comedians.
You, Frankie.
Me, Frankie Boyle, Reverend Obadiah Stephen
Bill Muir.
Bob Doolally and Miles Jupp.
Great. And Bob Doolally, who's Vladimir McTavish, and Reverend Obadiah Stephen Wolf III, who is Jim Muir.
Yes. And
supported Frankie for years, was part of, if anyone watched Tramadol Nights, which was Frankie's sketch show with Tom Stade, Jim Muir was also on that.
That's right. So we all had our own stage. So, and I think we all had the same subject to write about, so weddings or something. And they would do 5 minutes of that comedian, the camera would do that, and they would have their own, like Bob Doolally would have like a dressing room. See, I go theatre, locker room, as a football coach.
Yes.
And then it would cut to whatever. And then it cut to me, and they let me change my entrance every week. Can you imagine how handy that is? And so they would just ask me what I wanted, and I said, is there any chance I could come flying through the air as Mary Poppins in my kilt with my feet together in an umbrella? And I said, yes. And there's no footage of this.
They would never let you do it now.
It was pre-internet. That's why there's not. So live floor show was really good fun, but it was before there was any internet, and I have some video footage of it, but yes, I don't think there's any on the internet. There's only me interviewing Janie Godley. It's the only thing I think is on it.
But correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm almost certain that Bill Hicks was on it at one point.
Oh, wow, I don't know if he was he?
No, because I remember, oh God, maybe
we used to have a guest, every now and then. We had amazing bands. We had like Moloko were on it and stuff.
And you'd get... I'd
like to go back and look at the bands, actually, because the bands
I'd have to ask, were you with Marlena at this point?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd have to ask Marlena, because I think she would... No, but for some reason I have in my head, like, because Marlena would have a lot of this footage, I guarantee it.
Well, yes, you would have, Marlena being our agent.
Oh, anyone who listens to this podcast is... Yeah. Marlena listens...
she brought up a lot.
Yeah, she is. And me and Kai regularly feel bad about it because this is us going on the road and because Marlena is such a huge part of our lives. Occasionally, we will air some gripes about Marlena on this podcast, and because she listens to it, because she's so supportive and nice, she gets upset when we say mean things about her.
Well, she's absolutely lovely, and I have nothing said about it. Anyway, yes, she was and is my agent then, and but she might remember. She might have footage.
She is everything I have ever done. Every single radio thing I've done. Every newspaper clipping. She has everything. File. She is meticulous.
Yeah, I tell you what, she doesn't want a huge fire. I mean, it's really nice footage of your career. She does have that. It's
man, I'm really, really grateful for it. I'm not at the stage now where I'd like to look back on it yet, but I do look forward to it.
Do you know what's really weird? I've never been a look backer. I'm not a look backy person. I just don't do it in life. I'm so interested in the moment and the future and buzzed up all that. And I'm just not. No, I'm not really nostalgic at all. But I have to tell you, I didn't realise what a big deal it was when I had done 20 years of comedy. And I was going to Los Angeles.
It's a quarter of a century.
My cousin was turning 40, and they happened to notice it was the same time of year. They were like, have you not done comedy for 20 years? And I hadn't really registered that I had. And when I got to Los Angeles, my cousin's 40th was like in 3 days' time. But on the first day when I got there, my cousin moved to Los Angeles married an American girl, and we all went for his 40th. But a few days before, they had this big, Craig's done 20 years of comedy, and I started crying because I didn't realise it was such an achievement to have done anything for 20 years. You just do the job. And then you go, actually, no, you should sit back and go, take a wee moment to go, isn't it great to have done a job you loved as much and still be loving it?
It is a privilege.
It is
true
certainly a
privilege to love what you do. And
it's a privilege to have this career where you cheat at life and you don't have to get a normal job. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and then you come on a podcast every week and you piss and moan about all of your success. That might be exclusive to me.
No. It's Kai as well. But no, I constantly think it does feel like cheating at life. I always describe comedy as an acting job that lasted.
Yeah, yes.
Do you know, because as an actor, you get a job or a gig and you hope it lasts, and most actors are in and out of work. It's not an easy career to have. And I always thought I was going to be... I always thought I was going to sing more than I thought I was in a band, and I thought we were going to be a singer-songwriter band. That's what I thought we were going to. I still might do that.
What kind of music did you do?
I don't know how to describe it. Well, weirdly, I actually met the guy that I used to be in a band with recently, and we've now started writing again, and it's the most exciting thing I've done in years. I absolutely love it. It's so exciting. It's because we write songs the way we used to write songs, which was pretty organically. He would just have, he's a really good guitarist, so he would just have a little tune in his guitar, and I would say, oh, play that again, record, and I would just make up this melody because I love music. I mean, you can tell I'm really passionate about music, so I would make up this melody, and if it was good, we would keep it, and then I would go and write lyrics for it. So recently we got together, and he said, she would just see, you know, if we still like it, and we've done it 3 or 4 times, and now we've actually recorded it. One particular song. We've got like 4 songs, but this one particular song I think is really catchy. It's quite poppy. Somebody described it as 80 indies pop. I always thought it was a bit soulful. I was always inspired by Ella Fitzgerald and all that and those kind of singers. But we haven't released it or done anything with it, but I think at some point we might, because what's the harm?
Yeah, man, and also, man, you've got you're on TikTok now. You're creating it for your
What's
fucking
the harm?
audience.
And plus, you should do things that you're passionate about. You know, because it sounds really sad, but sometimes one day you're not here.
Yeah.
So I mean, nobody else is going to come along and tell you how to live your life. So get out there and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Have you any other passions you haven't ever explored? Because comedy took you off in a path?
No, really. Like when I did acting for years.
Did you?
Yeah, the Adam Smith Theatre. My mum wanted me at the fucking house, because she worked from home, and during the summer holidays I was a pain in the arse. So
I remember your muff.
Oh yeah, muff.
Yes,
yeah.
I remember seeing you acting the hell out of your muff.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed acting, but I remember in the acting, what would happen is me and my friend Craig Methvin, and Craig, if you're out there, I miss you so very much. God, we were funny together, because we were just the 2 most confident boys in the class.
Yeah.
We were always given the lead roles, and I hated the serious stuff, because with serious acting, you have no idea how well you're doing. There's no feedback. There's
yeah.
You're relying on the director.
So it was a bit of comedy acting, yeah.
Yeah, but whenever we did comedy stuff on stage, I knew I liked being on stage, and I knew I loved getting reactions from the audience. So, I've told the story a fucking 1,000 times on this podcast, but when we did Macbeth, I was Macbeth and Craig was Banquo, and we just kept making jokes all the time, to the point where our acting teacher was like, hey, if you two are you're really good actors, and I need you to focus on this and do it well. And if you both do it seriously, I will give you 5 minutes after the performance in front of the audience to do whatever you like.
Oh, how motivating! My goodness.
And we did a Macbeth rap. Where
well done, you.
I could still remember the lines.
MC, let him be.
MC Beth and I will be king.
MC Beth.
I'm MC
like
Beth
that.
and I
That's
will
cool.
be king with all my jewels and my bitching bling bling. His line was, I'm B to the A to the end of the Q, the U to the O to what So what you going to do? All my witches and my homies in the hood are going to come down on you like Burnham would. Because that's where
this
the
is
army
actually good.
And I fucking loved that. The second we were getting this fucking reaction, that was when I was like, oh, it's
You've kind of inspired me because I've never realised any correlation between me acting before I did stand-up comedy and stand-up comedy, and you've just reminded me that the roles that I got the biggest buzz from were definitely the comedy roles. I hadn't really registered that, but we were in this play.
It's when you're in control.
Yeah, and we were in this play, and me and a different guy played the same role. I was that guy on a Tuesday. He was that guy on a Wednesday. We were at drama college, and me and the girl I was working with actually couldn't rehearse for laughing so much, and she actually almost had an actual fit during rehearsals because I decided that my character had an inability to be quiet. He just could only shout his lines. So he went, he came in and said, "My wife's had one of the accidents in the home." And she started, her lips were going, and she was going, I can't act opposite you if you do that, it's too much. She said, "I just have to not look you in the eyes." She said, "It's too ridiculous." And then we got to a point where the director was like, "Is there any way you could calm that down?" I was going, "No, the audience love it." And
Yes,
that's where you suddenly realise anything that gets a laugh. And so you're making me think something I've never thought before, which was there was a little bit of seed of comedy, another good title. There was a little bit of seed of comedy way back then. I hadn't realised that what I was responding to, or what the audience were responding to, is when you were being funny. And then you realise you can make people laugh just by physical comedy or by doing voices.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, like, I always enjoyed acting, but acting is what let me know that stand-up comedy was absolutely what to do. This is my passion. This is all I want to do. And that's why I find it so easy to turn down the very little acting work that is offered to me, is because, you know, it's not
your passion. It wouldn't do it for you.
And I'm really bad at the rejection process. I don't like rejection. I don't get rejected on stage. I never get rejected on stage. I'm in utter fucking control. And even if my audience dares to reject me while I'm on stage, I can manufacture the fucking situation so I reject their fucking rejection. It's a really powerful thing, and I'm always in fucking control. So now when people are like, "Hey, do you want to come and act in this thing?" I'm like, "No, thank you.
No, I don't want to be rejected.
No, I'm going to do this
thing
I'm
I ask
really
you,
good at."
Daniel Sloss, I've never really asked many comedians this. Do you have the comedian's dream? I mean, actors always say the actor's dream. I have this recurring dream where I am rejected, where I'm in the middle of a gig. It's just your little anxiety. I'm on stage, and I don't know if this has ended or not. And neither do the audience. And they slowly dwindle off. And 2 people go, 4 people go. I'm still talking. I'm still doing the thing. I still think it's working. But there's hardly anyone there now. This is in my dream. It's a horrible nightmare. And then I'm left, and there's maybe 4 people, and then I stop doing the comedy and I go, "Should we just leave?" It's just awful. It's awful. And they're going through to another room where someone else is being really funny. It's an awful, and I wake up going, "Oh my God, thank God that's not true." It's a horrible, horrible feeling. And it's like the actors' dream. You know, the actors always have a dream that they're on stage and someone's drafted them at the last minute to replace someone and said, "It's fine, everyone is just around the line, but you just go on with the script." And you would never want to be that guy who walks on and goes, "But that is awful. What has happened in these circumstances?" And then everyone else knows it. So it's a similar kind of. You must have an anxiety. I have the other one is, I'm about to go on stage and my kilt is at home, and I've asked if all the audience could be held while I go for an hour and a half on a bus home to get this kilt, and they have to be held there. And I cannot get back to the gig fast enough.
I have those ones, which is I am trying to get to a very important, like, career changing gig, and just every single step of the way somebody fucks it up or something is fucked up. Like and because it's my dreams, halfway through I forget how to fly, so I now have to take the bus, and I hate buses. So the bus is the only thing that actually works that can get me there. And the one thing I fucking hate about buses is they're not fucking direct, and I'm just on this bus trying to get to this gig that's going to change my life, and the bus does what buses in Fife do, which is take the longest fucking route physically possible.
It's a lot of people to pick up.
And to drop off. And not so much like my audience reject me on stage anxiety, but like I'm going to lose an opportunity through being late, which is my least favourite thing.
And it's quite ridiculous in your head.
It's stupid.
Now, speaking of ridiculous, I've never told anyone that I can fly too in my dreams, but I'm actually curious how you fly, because I have a very specific way of flying in my dreams.
So here's where my anxiety comes in with my flying dreams, right? Is sometimes I work out as a dream, right, and that I can fly, and I'm like, this is excellent, and that's fun because you can just fly anyway.
But it feels like you can fly, doesn't it?
Man,
Exciting.
you are flying. Mine's is more like it's a will thing. Like I will myself in a direction.
That's exactly what it's very similar.
But the scary thing is sometimes it stops and I get slowly taken up and up and up, and I'm getting further and further away from the ground, and no matter how much I will myself back to the ground.
Oh, that's never happened to me. Someone could analyse this. Mine is similar. I have to lean forward. But I have to concentrate.
Yes.
And if I get too excited and go, look, I can fly, my feet hit the ground again, and myself is going, you're getting too excited. Yeah. So I go, okay, don't get too excited. So I concentrate, and then I elevate initially. So I lean forward, and my legs come, and I inside I'm going, oh my God, my legs have just come off the ground, and then I kind of go, oh my God, I can actually fly. And I'm only sometimes at the height of a room, and then I want to find someone to show them that I can fly. And I have done it in front of people in my dreams. And then occasionally I've actually flown down a whole avenue in a city, and it's the most amazing feeling because you really believe you can do it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I always get sometimes in my dreams where I can fly, I'm being chased by someone or I'm in trouble for something I didn't fucking do. That's always my fears. I'm being blamed for something that wasn't my fault. And they'll chase me to the top of the buildings in New York. And I'll know that I have the ability to fly. But
God.
It's that thing of you have to jump off the edge and just will
I don't think I could do it in that circumstance.
Oh man, I feel like fucking Neo in the Matrix. It's real.
Did you ever do a gig in Kuala Lumpur?
Yes, we did the gig in Kuala Lumpur.
No, I know, but I mean, did you do the one? I know we did, but what? So we did in that torrential rainstorm where they introduced you as, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome Daniel Sloss? They said, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome? He's young, he's hung, and he's full of cum. It's Daniel, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, that guy did not just introduce Daniel like that. And then he said, with me, he went, he's in a kilt. Rubbish. And what was really funny was, They wrapped us on. I remember that. The guy went, can't believe they come all this way. They flew on the plane. God, one of them is gay. I was like, what's he doing? It was the most bizarre thing ever. But no, I knew you went to Kuala Lumpur, but what I meant to ask you was, maybe this was a corporate gig I did in Kuala Lumpur because I used to host the Highland Games, which I'm actually now doing again in September. Wow. Yeah, bizarrely. But anyway, they have this helipad, which closes at 4 and becomes a bar. And that bar is a helipad with no border. This is not a joke. And I was on that helipad.
Wait, no safety?
It's the most terrifying thing. And the urge to run and jump is huge. And I remember thinking, why is there no fence? And they were like, well, there's none. So I don't know whether you couldn't go over the edge to look, but I don't know whether there was something a wee bit. But it's the most awful thing the sensation I've ever had. But the awful. I got
fear of heights.
But I kept on thinking, there's a part of you going, what would it be like if you ran? And then I thought, on the way down, they'd go, after I died, they'd be like, oh, you must have been really sad. No, I wasn't sad. I was just curious. But you can't tell anyone that. I would never jump off a building, by the way.
That could be the name of your autobiography. I wasn't sad, I was curious.
I would read that.
We're gonna wrap up. We've done an hour.
We've got there already. I haven't even brought up gardening.
No. But man, look, next time Kai's away, we'll have you back. You can be.
Oh, I have a list as long as my arm.
Yeah, you can fill in for Kai as often as you like.
Oh, there's another title.
What's your TikTok?
It's Mr. Craig Hill Comedian.
Mr. Craig Hill Comedian. So any of our...
I think it's Craig Hill Comedian, not Mr. Craig Hill. Just Craig Hill Comedian. I mean, keep it simple.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Thanks
why not? You're very welcome. It was so much fun. I love it. And, I'm going to find footage of everything now.
Do it.
This might even make it.
Stick on.
Even this.
The dregs.
Excuse me.
Right.